Do you know how this affects your savings? US and Iran sign deal as Trump vows to release frozen funds and ease sanctions. President says Iranians will receive incentives when they behave and acknowledges Tehran will keep ballistic missiles. Here's everything we know so far. Financial analysts are closely watching how this develops and what it means for markets and everyday investors. Stay with us for the full story and more breaking news throughout the day. This story was reported by Financial Times. For daily market and financial news, subscribe to Global News Digest. Here is what Wall Street does not want you to know. Chairman Warsh drastically alters Fed rate statement. Here's what's changed. This is a comparison of Wednesday's Federal Open Market Committee statement with the one issued after the Fed's previous policymaking meeting in April. Let's break this down quickly. This story is moving markets and has significant implications for the U.S. economy and consumer spending. We will continue to monitor this story and bring you updates as they become available. This story was reported by CNBC Economy. Stay on top of your money. Follow Global News Digest for daily finance updates.
Did the judge make the right call? Roy Moore files emergency application with Supreme Court on $8.2 million jury award. Here are the key details. This case has been closely watched by legal observers who say it sets a significant precedent. This is one of the top stories we are watching closely today across the United States. This story was reported by Scotto S. Blog. More court and legal updates daily on Global News Digest.
Every American with a bank account needs to hear this. Trump hits back at critics as Iran peace deal fuels debate over U.S. concessions. The deal sees both sides commit to further talks to reach a final agreement over the next 60 days and includes a $300 billion plan for Iran's reconstruction. This is why it matters. Financial analysts are closely watching how this develops and what it means for markets and everyday investors. Our team is tracking every development as this story continues to unfold in real time. This story was reported by CNBC Top News. For daily market and financial news, subscribe to Global News Digest.
This is the top trending story in America right now. Inflation and Kevin Warsh take center stage at the Federal Reserve's interest rate meeting. NBC News rising inflation and new Federal Reserve Chairman Kevin Warsh take the stage when the central bank meets to decide on the path forward for interest rates. Here's what's actually happening. This story is generating significant attention and reaction from people across the country. Follow along as we cover the key details, the background, and what happens next. This story was reported by NBC News. Don't miss the next story. Subscribe to Global News Digest. Which team just became the championship favorite? Knicks parade details, date, time, route as New York celebrates NBA championship. The Knicks and their fans will be celebrating a title in the Canyon of Heroes on Thursday. The key facts you need to know. Players, coaches, and front offices across the league are watching this situation closely. This is a developing story and we expect more information to emerge in the coming hours. This story was reported by CBS Sports NBA. More NBA stories every day. Subscribe so you don't miss a play.
Did Washington just make the right call for America? On the ballot, black lawmakers on track to lose record gains in representation next year. Congress is slated to lose more than a dozen black members between both parties in 2027 after representation reached an all-time high on Capitol Hill just last cycle. The Supreme Court's landmark decision in April to weaken the Voting Rights Act has played a leading role in this seismic deficit, the ruling, which made it easier. Here's everything we know so far. Political analysts say this development could have major consequences heading into the next election cycle. Stay with us for the full story and more breaking news throughout the day. This story was reported by The Hill. For daily U.S. political news, subscribe to Global News Digest.
This White House decision is affecting your daily life right now. Trump wants control of everything, GOP strategist says as Congress faces pressure for an insider's perspective on the tensions between President Trump and Republicans in Congress. Amna Nawaz spoke with GOP strategist Doug Hay. Let's break this down quickly. Lawmakers on both sides of the aisle are responding as the situation continues to develop in Washington. We will continue to monitor this story and bring you updates as they become available. This story was reported by PBS NewsHour. Stay informed on what Washington is doing. Follow us for updates.
Is this the best trade in NBA history? Why James Dolan's second apron comments raise big questions about Knicks' ability to keep championship roster key players like Mitchell Robinson and Landry Shamet could be difficult for New York to keep. Here are the key details. Players, coaches, and front offices across the league are watching this situation closely. This is one of the top stories we are watching closely today across the United States. This story was reported by CBS Sports NBA. More NBA stories every day. Subscribe so you don't miss a play. Did the NFL make the right call here? Brendan Sorsby to the supplemental draft. Why QB might not face a gambling suspension in the NFL. The Texas Tech quarterback is entering the supplemental draft amid gambling violations, raising questions about whether the league will follow the Keyshawn Bout precedent. This is why it matters. Football fans across America are reacting strongly, and sports commentators are calling this one of the biggest stories of the season. Our team is tracking every development as this story continues to unfold in real time. This story was reported by CBS Sports NFL. For daily NFL news and updates, subscribe to Global News Digest.